Hello YouTube, thanks for tuning in. I think I'm going to continue on with my theme today with chickpea flour, and for lunch I'm going to make a pizza crust. And it's such a simple recipe, I really hope it turns out. You basically have just 2/3 of a cup of chickpea flour and a 1/4 teaspoon salt and then 100 milliliters of water. And you could put it in a blender, but I had the blender day yesterday and it's put to bed now. I don't want to get it dirty. I'm going to mix that up and show you the next step. After I mixed my chickpea flour mixture, I cooked it for about 1.5 minutes on the first side. And now I flipped it over and I'm going to cook it for 1 minute on this side. My tomato sauce looks like this. I had more than 2 tablespoons of tomato puree. I probably had close to a 1/4 cup by the time this is all finished. And I also added in about a tablespoon of oregano and maybe a teaspoon of basil and just a little bit of salt. Nutritional yeast gives it that cheesy flavor, and since I've never made one of these before, I don't know if this is enough or too much. I think my pizza turned out pretty good. It's about the size of a personal pan. I could eat this easily for supper, but because it's lunch, I'll probably only eat half now and the other with supper. The other half with supper, maybe with, I don't know, I have so many things I made this weekend. Probably could have layered it better. I mean, I started off with the tomato paste, which I made into a sauce. Then I sprinkled a lot of nutritional yeast on there. I put some tomatoes on, even though I probably don't think I needed that. And I also had some leftover zucchini, and I put on some bagged spinach, baby chards, and baby bok choy. And I put mushrooms on the very bottom layer. So even so, cooking it on the frying pan for 1.5 minutes the first side and 1 minute the second side, and then putting it in the oven for 350 degrees for roughly 8 minutes, you'd think it would be done, but to me it looks a little uncooked and tastes a little uncooked. But I am going to finish eating it, and I think the next time that I make it, I'm going to put some spices directly in the flour mixture. It needs just a little something in there to give it a little more taste. But I'm very happy with this because I do want gluten-free in a pizza crust for sure, and I do want something healthy. I didn't want to use dairy, so I used nutritional yeast to give the taste of cheese. Less is more when it comes to making the tomato sauce. She suggested using 2 tablespoons of tomato puree, or I had tomato paste, and I probably had like a 1/4 cup of it, and then I added water to it and the basil and oregano, so that was way too much, and it's just too tomatoey for me. So stick with her plan.